Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW Podcast. And we got a big one tonight. The return of NCW's Sweet Victory. And we are alone. Alongside us,
Disabled here, and it's some sweet victory.
Yeah. So, as you remember, as we ended the last NCW
WrestleFest.
BRG was our champ.
Yeah, and the NCW title might be in retirement.
Well, he threw that in the trash, and he
Kind of like a Medusa.
He
has a victorious title.
He does. He has a brand new title. And this is going to be setting up for a brand new era of BRG.
Absolutely.
But we have a full night of wrestling
Yes, we do.
coming back here.
So let's talk about this number one contender spot for the Ballroom Blitz with all the females, young and new, into it when it becomes a number one contender in the future. You got the newly AEW Dark Elevation appearance.
No, can't wait. Let me just tell you that for a second. Now, just to let you know, this will actually be NCW's third annual Ballroom Blitz.
Yes.
And the original Ballroom Blitz was right before the pandemic in 2020, and we actually saw the birth of the Scrungy Squad. We saw the birth of Becker. We saw so much stuff happen there. But okay, now go on, Disabled.
You get the winner and becomes a number one contender. In the future, you got Paris Van Dale versus Jesse Nolan versus Elle Valentine versus Suplex Sweetheart Zana versus Delilah Hayden versus the Rising Star New England Pro Wrestling Academy Rookie of the Year, Shannon Lavangi.
I can't wait for this matchup. I mean, we've seen some of these girls wrestle at Chaotic. And we've seen some of them also wrestle, across New England. Now we're seeing them back here in NCW. And it's always great to see, like I said, first of all, we got a new champion. Becca was dethroned by Little Mean Kathleen, who, if you guys are watching out there, you could see her and Paris Van Dale on AEW television tonight.
And on Dark Elevation.
Yep.
For their Bridgeport, Connecticut show last week.
That's one thing about New England. We're always seeing these guys and girls, and then, the next week we're seeing them on TV.
Someone appearing at great promotion like NCW or like Chaotic, it would be once in every 100 talent to make an appearance on TV. If you're talking 10 to 15, even further back years ago now. It's so great to see guys and girls.
AEW has made a big difference in this. I mean, if it was WWE television, it would take a lot longer. Yes. Now, granted, we see Carmelo Hayes up there, Christian Casanova.
We saw Josh Briggs.
We saw Josh Briggs. We saw Anthony Green as August Gray. It wasn't a huge turnaround time, but a lot longer than it is as you see. One day they're here, and the next day they're on AEW Dark.
Yeah. That is very amazing. And you got Shannon Lavangi, who's got a lot of training, and you got Delilah Hayden, who's been a NCW original for many years now.
Oh yeah, OG in the game. She might be looking for that title.
Very true. Look out at the management roles, and you got a veteran in Suplex Sweetheart Isana.
Honestly,
she's had a huge heel turn.
I feel like she's been number one contender, honestly, since the start of it all. And now with their heel turn and the League of Excellence.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, anything can happen. Under Dallas McCartney, anything can happen.
Absolutely. So what's your prediction, Versace? I think it's going to be Paris Van Dale because she and Chaotic, Lucky Pro, her and Gal Barque have been making a huge impact, especially her and Amane Chaos. Who knows if Higher Society will be part of NCW or not. in the new season, but they need momentum for Van Dale, and Levange's got I think she'll be the person who does the best moves is going to be Levange out of all these females, but I think it will be Paris Van Dale coming away with it. But don't count out Jessie Nolan either.
No, she had a great match with Isana.
Dojo.
Oh, even, I mean, you could go for the dojo. I'm talking in an NCW, with Isana, that, clean house match there.
Absolutely.
I mean, me personally, I have to say it's going to come down to either Isana or Levange. Yeah, Paris Van Dale is good. She's making her rounds with Bakale. She's on AEW. But you have Isana. She's an original to, NCW. She's holding titles in other promotions. She's the suplex sweetheart. Maybe not so much a sweetheart anymore, but she's devastating in the ring when you really step up to it. If you have the balls to step up to it. Not a lot of the women do.
Her and Jessie Nolan had a great match in WrestleFest for a house cleaning match. First of its
kind. That's the thing. She doesn't care if you're man or woman. She'll fight you. She's not afraid of intergender. She will face you. She'll take you out. She'll suplex you. She'll pin you. So, I mean, she's definitely on the radar as being somebody in this. And then you got Levange, who is the top right now, chaotic, I believe, student. Really shining. She's like the Abby Jane of Massachusetts. And you know what? She's going to go places.
No doubt, and she's very young, too. But are you ready to move on for a second?
I am.
So you got a rivalry grudge match. You got the breakup of the Dirt City Murder Crew.
Wow.
The Ace, Mike Montero versus Ricky Medeiros. If you remember, coming off of WrestleFest, Mike Montero and Kellen Thomas did a 5-star match.
They really did. They really did. I'll give it to you. I'm not a big, huge Kellen Thomas fan. I know a lot of people love the Riot. I don't hate the Riot. It's not that I don't like him. I think he's a shitty wrestler or anything like that. For me, he just does nothing for me. It's just plain flat. It's like...
But the movesets, though, the acrobatics.
It does nothing for me. There's no pop for me. I know a lot of people get it. I just don't. Same thing with Daniel Bryan. I feel the same way about him when WWE. I just got no pop from him. Bryan Danielson, much better. But Daniel Bryan, not so much.
Right.
But, okay, so yeah. You got him holding that New England Championship. You got Mike Montero versus Ricky Medeiros. But let's be honest here, Disabled. This is not the first time we have seen this match.
No, and it won't be the last.
I mean, how many times in other promotions have we seen the breakup of the Dirt City Murder Crew?
I have more than I can count.
We've seen them break up. We've seen them make up. We've seen it all, okay? We've seen friends collide. If you follow Proving Ground Wrestling, you've seen this match before.
RWA Wrestling, too.
I'm sure you have there, too. And, they're going to give you a great matchup. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. These,
might as well put Jason Devine as a special guest referee.
That would be fun. But, but let's just be honest here. It's not something new and fresh for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, it'll be a great matchup because of these two and the history and just...
Should have a stipulation to it.
Yeah, they can never wrestle each other again. I mean, it's almost going to be it's going to be getting to the point of Angel versus Shiki, baby.
We're going to go there.
But, no, honestly, I mean, but I get it. They got to break up kind of everywhere. We're going to see the same thing. I'm going to hate to say it, but we're going to see the same thing with BRG and Channing Thomas. Channing Thomas is now moving into the new realm of world class, and he's got a Sidney Bagabella thing, and he's got that whole new gimmick. He's going to be breaking away from BRG in every single promotion that we go do. And I won't be surprised. We'll talk about his match later on in my prediction on that. But
all right.
on this one, I think Ricky Medeiros is going to steal the shine. I think he's going to take the victory.
I think Montero's going to pull it off because alliances, breakups, and makeups, especially NCW, has a huge roster. People that know each other so well that they love or hate each other. And if BRG could recruit Osiris, who knows who Montero could recruit, you know?
Oh, that is very true. That is very true. And I forgot about the Osiris factor for a second. That's going to play in another role in things.
Yes, so speaking of, are you ready to move on, Versace?
I am.
So you got the NCW New England Championship. You got the new champion, Riot Kellen Thomas, versus Tim Lennox.
Can I just say Tim Lennox is going to kill this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to murder him.
Especially with the results in the casket match in WrestleFest.
Well, I mean, that was just amazing, honestly. I mean, first of all, we got to see the return of Dan Terry. I love that guy. Mm. That guy is, he brings cheer to me. He brings joy to me when I go to a show and see Dan Terry. I used to miss him. He used to have these big things, big moves. He'd say, dropping bombs like Hiroshima. And he would just hit his opponent down.
And he would just bring weapons.
Dan Terry was a ruthless fighter. Hate him or love him. You gotta say, he was memorable in NCW, even before that. Okay, but now you have Tim Lennox. This guy is just pure violence times violence times violence. I love it. I love it. I think he's going to try to destroy Kellen Thomas. Not just pin him. Not just beat him. He wants him dead. He wants him in the ground.
He tried for a CPA. He didn't just want to put him in
No, he wanted to kill Nick Stapp. He wanted Nick Stapp dead. So... It's very personal with Tim Lennox. I love this guy. I want to get him on our show. I'm hoping, we were trying to...
He has a problem with the NCW HR offices. So.
I have trouble with the HR offices from time to time, too. Sometimes I don't get on you. If you really want to get to things, you got to talk to John Casey. I mean, he's the guy, JC Marks. Reach out to him. He usually makes things happen within a very, very, very reasonable time frame. But, that being said, I don't think Tim Lennox is the one to sit down with JC Marks and talk anything, okay? I think he's going to be out for one thing only, and that's blood, and he wants that title. And like I said, I'm hoping we can get him on our show. I know we wanted to get on there last season before they wrapped up. Hopefully we can get him on this season. But,
That reminds me of that ruthless aggression Kane and Lars Sullivan vibe.
Yep. I mean... Like I said, I'm not a huge Kellen fan. I understand a lot of the people are. The kids definitely love that guy. Me, I'm rooting for Tim Lennox. Let's go.
I do think Riot Kellen Thomas is going to retain because he'll find a way to get himself.
Oh, there you go, Wolf. Always voting for the baby face. Go for it. You can go back to your old ways now.
No.
Pretty soon you'll be cheering yes for him, too, I bet.
But I can't see him, though, if I cheer for him.
Oh. Well, if you look today, our good buddy, Derek Simonetti, put out a great match where Tony Spencer basically beat your childhood idol, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
And you could see him, and you could see it clearly. But let's move on to the next match, shall we?
Absolutely. So you got the women's title match. I am really looking forward to this one. LMK, Little Mean Kathleen, will have her. It isn't her first NCW title defense. She retained it in Lucky Pro Wrestling against it.
And don't forget, didn't she also defend the title for? Wasn't she like a proxy? Didn't she defend the title once for Becca too? In the beginning, she grabbed the title and defended it.
Yeah, definitely, but as herself. This isn't the first time, but first time in an NCW ring, and it will be against... I am really looking forward to this. The return of former C-Star, maybe the C-Stars are on hold, Demo Queen, Delmy XO.
Really?
Emo Queen, she's undergone
This is going to be a great matchup here.
Absolutely, it's going to be a real great matchup. Going to be...
I mean, it's something you don't really see every day because, honestly, we don't
This is the first time I'll ever see Delmy wrestle one-on-one.
Well, it's not even just that. Okay, you got Delmy that fights a lot of the North Shore shows. She fights up in North and Maine. You got her fighting out West, I think, at
Pro Wrestling Grind.
Pro Wrestling Grind. But then you got Little Mean Kathleen, who works the South Shore.
So
You got her doing Top Rope, NCW. So now you're going to have them collide. I don't believe they've ever even wrestled. I'm not sure if
I
they
don't
have.
even know if they have.
But I've never seen the match.
I cannot wait for this match.
It is. It's going to be a great
I think
matchup.
Delmy's going to be the powerhouse in the female. And we know she wrestles really good intergender, too. It's a lot of experience. She had an MLW TV deal with Ashley Vox in the Sea Stars.
We've seen her on WWR with him, Beyond's other
Parents on AEW Dark.
and Beyond's other wrestling show there with the women.
Yeah. Little Mean Kathleen's become a huge factor in Beyond. And
Oh my God! Speaking of Little Mean Kathleen, I have to get to Worcester this Thursday. She's fighting my man, my friend, my personal friend. That's going to be a great matchup. I mean, we drove all the way to Jersey one time to see him fight Abby Jane.
I know.
And, maybe he'll have better luck this time. I don't know. You got Ted Goods hanging around. It's going to be interesting. But she's got a big matchup the night before. But then next night, you got her defending the title and against Downey. And this is going to be,
if she makes it out alive in Worcester, that is.
It's going to be a different match. Like you said, you haven't seen Downey really fight solo. So, you're going to see, I think, a more technical side to her.
Powerhouse side, for sure.
Definitely a powerhouse side, but it's really going to be... She's going to show MLK how to wrestle. But here's the thing. MLK already knows how to wrestle. She's one of the top students out of, well, that's not their school, but, she's Spike Dudley trained. And she's one of the type, she's the next big thing out of their school. And their school produced a lot of great people. They got Ted Goods. They got Anthony Green. You have these people that are making it around.
That can use a lot of sugar for her energy.
She is fully hyped. She's got energy even more than Alec Price. Okay?
Absolutely. I am very excited for that matchup. Maybe. Because Delmy has wrestled in NCW before as just herself.
She has, yes. So this will be an interesting matchup. I can't stress it out, but I do think Little Mean Kathleen will retain that title.
Me too. I think I agree with that. Nothing against Delmy, but I think Little Mean Kathleen will retain it.
She's on fire.
Yeah.
Unless Sydney really beats her up really bad the night before, she might not even be able to show up. That could be the other thing, Gabby. You gotta remember with Sidney Bacabella, he also carries a gun, the guy. It pissed him off. He'd probably shoot you. He was going to shoot Abby Jane.
Ooh, he said it on our podcast.
He did. He said he might shoot this guy. What else? You had Abs involved. You had all these people. There could be another skirmish. If Ted Good gets involved, I don't know. Anything could happen with Sydney, and anything could happen with that. But as far as this goes, if everything works out fine for MLK, I do believe she will come back strong on NCW and retain that title.
Absolutely. Now you ready to move on?
I am.
So you got advertised Lumberjake in action. So NCW original and exclusive Lumberjake will be fighting.
Former champion.
Yeah. He's had a huge rivalry with BRG, huge with the Castro.
He's had just rivalry after rivalry.
It's funny, everyone.
But he had some good fortune with FAFO. Yeah. He was living it up in like the Attitude Era style of life there for a little bit.
During the pandemic.
And then I don't know what happened with all that, but he was world champion.
He had his friend from the dumpster.
He won the Big City Rumble.
Yeah.
He got the title, okay? And then he lost it in a terrible fashion. You had the Osiris factor. You had BRG cheating to win.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, he's just advertised in action. No opponent yet. So we don't know. Maybe he'll fight Dick Terry. That would be a fun match. They actually had a really good match prior to the pandemic. Prior to all that, it was actually Dan Carey versus...
Maybe he could, because we'll talk about this big talent next. He could have someone like an AG or maybe a JT Dunn.
Believe it or not, though, that was one of my first videos I ever took. Was I chopped to Dan Terry from Lumberjake, and I got a really nice close up. It was just a nice chop and a single chop, and it actually took off a little bit at the time. I was like, "Whoa, this is fun." That's what actually got me into the videoing. Was NCW, and
Feels so ancient now.
yeah, it was a while back. But, yeah, so, I mean, who knows with Lumberjake, but every time he's there, he always does perform.
Absolutely, that is very true. And now you ready to move on?
I am.
So you got a fatal four-way number one contendership with teams to be announced. So maybe you do have guys like Doc Ozone managing Foxy, Kevin Cavill, and Ike. You could have Dallas McCarthy and Dylan Nix in this match.
The tag team matchups?
Yeah, it's a fatal four-way. Tag team invitational for the number one contender spot. No one's been announced yet. Who would you?
Or you might see other people that we've never seen before, like Main Event.
Maybe you got Waves and Curls coming
You might
back.
see Waves and Girls come back. They were the former NCW champions. You're not going to see Dirt City Murder Crew or Detox, that's for sure. Maybe you do see a Detox. Who knows?
Maybe you'll have Shay Cash with Cash throwing a partner of his choosing. Because Frank Champion, they turned on him.
Could. You could have, you could see possibly even Shay and Chris Pyro.
Could.
I mean, not Shay, you know what I mean. You could see all these teams coming up.
You could see a return of the Middlesex Express.
That, you could
I would
definitely
love to
see
see
it.
Chad
We
Epic.
might see that. We might see Chad. NCW has had a lot of tag teams over the years. We've seen a lot of makeshift tag teams. Who knows what we get out of this? We could see, like I said, it could be anybody.
Yeah. Maybe it could be the unit. Who knows?
You might see the unit, which would be nice. I wouldn't put it past it. We've seen teams we've seen chaotic wrestlers wrestling there before.
They have Hispanic Mechanics.
They could have the Hispanic Mechanics as another great team.
Champions. They're making their rounds in Wrestle Open.
Maybe Brutal Bob Evans. He tagged up for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we've seen him selling merch at NCW before. Like I said, there's a vast tag team division in that area. You got the Young Guns as well.
That too.
So, it could just be anybody, really. Just know that whoever it will be the next number one contender for the
And they
tag
gotta
team
do
world
more
title.
than just be part of a reunion per se, right?
Yes, they got to be more than a reunion. Well, hey, maybe it is. Maybe we see the return of the Max. That could happen at NCW.
Oh yeah.
If that's the case, I pick them to win the whole thing, and then they're going to just take the titles to the Gathering of the Juggalos and live on their merry way.
Absolutely. Are you ready to move on, Versace?
Yes.
So we got for the NCW Tag Team Champ, you got a tag team with Natural Chan Thomas, World Class Chan, Whoop Whoop, and Vern Vitalo.
Speaking of the Gathering, yep.
Taking on, guess who was announced?
MSP.
Grip, drop, grip.
Now, this will be an interesting time because the last time they have been in NCW, they were very much far. They were the mainstay posse. They were with Alexander Lee. They had their denim and their grunge look. And now it's a totally different game. You got the captain, aggro.
They took another promotion over Limitless.
Of course. Well, why wouldn't they? They've been picking up tag gold, and they did that.
Maybe they're trying to become this tag team version of Matt Cardona.
They could be coming this, and I think, and to be honest with you, I think they're going to steamroll over this. And I'm going to tell you why, first of all, because first of all, you're going up against a makeshift team. Okay?
They did make up after a great match.
Make up, but that's not what I'm saying. It's a makeshift tag team. It's not a real tag team. These are two champions put together. They don't have the chemistry. MSP has years and years and years of chemistry.
Aiden Negro and Danger Kid.
When these two are going to be put together, they're going to be going full steam ahead. They're going to steam right over Vern. They're going to steam right over Channing Thomas. I don't care how world-class or great he can be.
Maybe you get an appearance from Sydney. Maybe he becomes world-class and turns on Vern.
Oh, he might. They might turn Vern right after they lose and blame Vern. That would be great to see. But, I mean, either which way, I don't see them beating MSP.
I don't either, dude.
There's no way. There's no way that MSP is walking out of there short of those gold around their waist.
Especially they just won it in Blitzerrig.
They also are the Blitzerrig World Title Tag Team Champions. You also now, it's going to put Randy Carver in a very difficult position. They had a chance to have a tag team titles. All they had to do was just beat
Garcia and Blackwood.
Another makeshift tag team. But now let's just face it. Let's just talk about it for a second. Garcia and Blackwood is a little bit different than Vern Vicalo and Channing Thomas.
Grew up in the same town.
But even this isn't style of wrestling, quality of wrestling. I'm not taking anything away from Channing Thomas or Vern.
Channing was a security guard on Dynamite the other night.
Channing's a great wrestler.
Kingston and Jericho.
Channing's a great wrestler, but he's not traveling the world like Kevin Blackwood wrestling. He's not, Danny Garcia is already signed in AEW.
He guarded Goldberg's door, dude. So.
He did. He is up there, and he will be coming to great places. And Vern, too. But at that level, I do see them beating them. And I'll tell you this, like I said, and those two, yes, while they were a makeshift tag team, they did grow up together, they do know the ins and outs. These guys were bitter enemies, Vern and Channing. They hate each other. They had a ladder match. They had another match. They had that match with the fire alarm pole. They had match over match, and then they became tag team titles together. They don't even trust each other, really. And I said, but will they give us a good match? Yes. Because you got to remember, Channing Thomas has an ego. Whether he likes Vern or not, he wants to keep on to that gold.
Absolutely. And he could be world class. I think MSP is going to pull away with that victory.
I do too. I just, like I said, I don't see how they can't.
They nearly beat Bear Country and Limitless, and they gone toe and toe with some of the best teams in the Indies.
They have. And
maybe they'll be able to face the Hardys.
Who knows? That would be a great matchup for them. Remember, they were rated as a top tag team in PWI.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you, they're up there with the Briscoes and they're in the same list with the Young Bucks.
Yeah, it depends. I think if they were to beat Vern and Channing for those titles, I like Vern a lot, and I like Channing a ton. I'm becoming a huge Channing fan. He's world class.
He is world class.
The thing is, what I'm going to say, you might have like a main event of Brick City Boys or Waves and Curls or Hispanic Mechanics. People that aren't known for being in NCW win that fatal 4-way if MSP wins, because
you might see a big headlining tag team match coming at NCW's next
if
show.
MSP's going to win, you're probably going to have a big tag team win it. We don't know who's going to be in it.
You said earlier maybe the Hardy Boys might be in it?
Nah, I doubt that. He has that money for that.
Now you're talking like our friend Mike.
Oh, yeah.
He would have had the Hardy Boys in there, Demolition. He would have probably tried to get Heart Found. He has
DX.
He has the mind. He has the minds of Saudi. He would have had the Heart Foundation booked. He's insane. But anyways, at least he made up. As you see, he's now a proud sponsor once again of the VSW
and
podcast.
He wants to film with us, as he says.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be filming. He said Friday night he'll be at the he'll be with the VSW. I don't know if he'll be sitting with us though.
He did hit that game-winning field goal after all.
Yeah, he did. He will though be at NCW. You can probably find him. He'll be having a red hat on. And you can check him out. He might be one to sponsor others. I don't know.
Hey.
Sometimes people just want to give to this,
he will.
organization. They just want to give to this profession.
He will book people for you.
Oh, he's a great booker. One of the best. But anyway, let's move on, shall we?
And now it is going to be the main event of the evening between the Ox Baker Cup winner, the Perry go-around himself, the Monster Truck, Perry Von Vissus versus the newly former self-proclaimed victorious champion, the owner of Sweet Victory Brett Ryan Gosling. B-R-G.
Listen, BRG is nothing. Is not one step less than prestigious. But the only problem is none of them have John Alba with them. He doesn't even have Mac Daniels there. He doesn't even have Channing Thomas there.
So he got Osiris instead.
He got Osiris instead. Now, Osiris is an OG in the game. Deadly as deadly can be, but don't get him wrong either. He has his sights set on that title too. And there was something for him to gain in that all. But anyways, let's talk about Perry for a little bit. Okay, now we saw him, we've seen an evolution in Perry. He was tag team, I've seen a great evolution in Perry. I saw him in singles. He was this
with a suit
$1 million man kind of wannabe with the money suit.
And he teamed up with the former Rip Bison
Then he teamed up with the former Rip Bison.
Tomahawk.
Okay. And they won tag team gold in NCW. They did a great job. They were running the indie scene for a bit. Yeah. They even went all the way down to Texas, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we didn't see anything of Perry for a while. We saw Rip up in Maine. Old Ripper. Okay? We saw him come back in the Big City Rumble. Or was it WrestleFest? I can't remember which.
Here's the thing. I do think since his girlfriend Delmy's wrestling for the title is one of his
you'll
best
probably
friends,
see.
I think he'll be either a surprise entrant some match or he'll be with Perry's side in case VRG recruits people to attack.
Well, there's two things that could happen. Him and Perry could still be in that tag team gauntlet, whatever that is going on.
Yeah.
The tag team match. He could wrestle twice.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
And, the other thing is, Rip is definitely going to be there. Now, how and what way he plays a role in all this, he could be the counter to whatever BRG has if he's sitting ringside. What happens if no? What happens if BRG has recruited Rip Bison as well?
Maybe he could have, they're not advertised, but they're killing it in the indie scene in New England. It's a smoke show. Ricky Smokes and Brad Cashew.
Well, you do have them, the big boys.
Yeah.
And they could be lurking around there as well. Or you might even see... You might even see something... Well, you might see that, but you might even see something like Archer. We could see Aaron Rock. You could.
You can't pass John Casey. You didn't know JT Dunn would be at the Rumble or Anthony Green would make an appearance.
No, you don't know what's going to happen. We didn't know MSP was going to show back up until last night. So, so much can happen with this. And honestly, this main event is just... It's unpredictable. I do think BRG will retain. Why go through all the trouble of recreating and making a new belt if you're not going to keep it? But... I don't know. There's just something about it. Perry has a huge push here. He's coming in strong. Maybe Perry does take this.
Maybe he'll have the power of the fast pass to show up. It's a small world after all, Versace.
Well, I'm thinking maybe Perry wins, but Perry wins one belt.
Maybe he'll say, "This is how I was." You just read my mind. Here was I was thinking, Versace. So you know how BRG's the victorious champion. Maybe the guy could announce that for the NCW, one of their ring announcers, heavyweight championship. Perry will win that. Maybe he'll be the NCW champ, but the BRG will claim he's the world champ, the victorious.
Well, that's the thing. The Ox Baker Cup doesn't say it's for the victorious champion, does it? No. It says it's for the NCW World Heavyweight Champ, which is sitting in a trash barrel somewhere, probably in a landfill mine somewhere by now.
Yeah.
Next to the BC Dub Championship that most marketable threw away.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. What happens if they get down to the technicality? Let's say BRG loses he loses the match, but he does not, give away that victorious title. He just gives away that world title that's nowhere to be found, leaving, another match to say, who's the real world championship.
Big City Rumble a few years ago as a different gimmick.
Different gimmick? And not a different gimmick. He took out Curry Boy, he dressed up as him, pretended to win the thing, and then it was him all along.
And he just went up and grabbed the...
Might I tell you, we've never seen Curry Boy since, I don't think.
We haven't seen Red lately either.
No. But, I am happy to be back at NCW. This is going to be a great, great night of professional wrestling. It always is a great show. Now they got the VIP option. You can pick your seats before. Don't have to wait in line. Don't have
You
to
get
sit
a
around.
free signature walking taco
You get
or
free
2 slices of pizza.
Yep, and I think you get a free poster.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll make sure to bring a Sharpie. Hopefully the wrestlers will sign it.
Yeah, I'll have my Bruins hat on me, if you remember.
Oh, yes. Maybe BRG should sign your Bruins hat.
He is a Canadians fan and he cheats like one, so. Canadians.
Well, Perry will be ready. That is for sure. I can't wait, though. Like I said, Friday night, that's going to be the place to be. That's March 4th at the Dedham VFW Post. 7 p.m. The doors will be open at 7:30 is bell time. Get there a little bit early. You can meet some of the guys sometimes. Buy a few things. But there's always a great intermission. And after the show, then you go across the street. Go to Tahiti. Get some Chinese food. Have yourself a good night, It's going to be great. I can't wait. As you know, all the wrestling got canceled last weekend. Pretty much for us. It's chaotic and everything.
And
got
my
closed.
car wasn't as good as I thought to go up to
Your car had the same fate as mine going up to Maine, broken. Luckily, we did have a friend pick us up. We did make it back home, but we did not make it to the Limitless show.
And I'm sad I missed that Price Romero match.
It was supposed to, yes, that was supposed to be great. And, I wanted to see Scotty 2 Hotty and all those guys, but
up another time.
We will have to wait another time, unfortunately, as we had some more luck. But, and just speaking of that, you remember last time I went to NCW, my car broke down.
Yeah.
On the way.
We were supposed to pick up the dock.
We were supposed to take Doc Ozone with us, and then my car broke down. I had to Uber it out there. Luckily, I do have my car in somewhat working order. It's enough to get us at least to Dedham, Massachusetts, and back. I know that's going to happen. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see the whole Osiris factor. Gotta remember, he won a big match in Showcase, so he's going to be back around. He's back in action. Okay? And also, there's going to be surprises. There's going to be surprise after surprise after surprise.
You'll see our friend Derek Simon Eddie as commentator.
Yes, you will. And that will be a great opportunity. Always good to see him say what's up. He's going to talk. Maybe I can try to talk to him about some of his Anthony Green figures coming out and all of that. So
maybe you'll see former Chaotic owner Chase Del Monte.
He might be in the stands. He always likes to go to professional wrestling. We've seen him go all the way to Limitless Wrestling. He might go to Dedham Wrestling, and that would be great. We can say hi to him too. As you know, we'll be going to that next Pro Wrestling Academy tryout thing.
Unless it's bad weather.
No, we're going no matter what this time. Jesus. Last time
Chaotic weather, man.
No, even last time, though, I had bad weather. They still had it, but we had, that storm, and then I had a wedding. But, no, we are going to that boot camp, and that'll be fun. Fantasy training day at Chaotic Wrestling. But, with that, we're going to say, check out Friday night if you can get down there. If not, they have their own streaming service at NCW. You can check out them. They're pretty fast to get their pay-per-views up and out. I think it's like $5 to rent, $10 to own, something like that. I don't know. Haven't bought one in a little bit, but yeah, check it out live if you can. We'll be there. And have yourself a good night, everybody. Versace Stoner out.
Disciple out.